Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today we are watching Freeker in the Montana, the Tier 10 US battleship. He is on the map Land of Fire in a 3-point domination game mode, and well, it's obviously a Tier 10 battle. There are no carriers around, quite a few destroyers and very few cruisers. So we shall see how that turns out. Now here in the beginning Freeker is slowing down. He said in chat at the beginning he wants to go towards C. And he asked for help, for somebody to screen there for enemies. So hopefully this destroyer is answering this call and will go and scout. Now since there are quite a few enemy destroyers around, you don't want to blindly drive into a cap. Also it would seem that quite a few friendlies want to go towards A. Now keep in mind the team didn't really discuss a strategy. There wasn't much answer in the team, I think. Now that in the chat the team was mostly just making jokes. So we can now see a lot of the enemies and there is a massive force moving towards A. I don't think those ships stand much of a chance. When you spot this, I think the best choice for those ships would be to retreat there and go maybe somewhere between B and C and try to focus on those caps. Now Freeker here is moving forward. He has assistance of some friendly battleships and one destroyer who is here somewhat in the front. And yeah, I think this enemy cruiser will not survive for very long. Now he's holding his fire here, he's waiting for the enemy cruiser to turn and show his broadside. And that salvo looking good.
Confirmed penetration.
No citadel hit, but some decent damage, I'd say. Now the enemy cruiser has started capping, but he is pretty much in a doomed position. Doesn't look like he has any support incoming. The destroyer here won't do him much good. And this island is way too low to prevent fire. And yep, there he goes. Now this small island in the middle, all it does is provide like torpedo protection if you're sitting behind this island. Obviously torpedoes from the front can't do anything. But other than that, it pretty much does nothing. Now the enemy destroyer is in retreat, so I guess they will get this point pretty much for free. All they have to do is dive in there and take it. Also the friendly team is in the process of taking B. It seems like all the position there is gone as well. But they've lost ships here at A. The surviving ships are in retreat. And well, hopefully this battleship can escape. So I guess it will depend on what the enemy does now. They have a concentrated force here at A. If they move decisively towards B, might look pretty bad because those ships here are still capturing C, and we shall see how it turns out. Also keep in mind that there are a lot of friendly destroyers around B, and those battleships might be scared of sailing towards those torpedoes. So those destroyers hopefully can hold the line until the friendly team is in position. Now Freeker here is trying to spread his shells around and hopefully get some hits on the destroyer. Hitting a destroyer at mid to long ranges is very hard. They are just very small targets, and obviously they can see your shells coming and react to that by changing their course or speed. And yeah, the friendly team has taken the point C. And I guess those battleships will now hopefully move towards B. Yeah, there is quite a sizable enemy force there. But the friendly team is only one ship behind, and they now control 2 capture zones. They are now equal on ships, so it's looking quite decent for the friendly team. Now they just have to stop this push if it's even happening. Now the enemies are still undecided if they wanna go directly towards B, and I guess those torpedoes are scaring them away. And look at that, an Iowa sailing broadside on. That's nice. And I guess some of the enemy forces might try to hunt down those 2 battleships there in the north, which wouldn't actually be that bad for the friendly team. If the enemies really chase battleships to the zone wall, then they are not taking B and then they're just losing over time. And I want to point out here something you just saw. Guns fired that before the turret was fully turned. That's a bug in the replay system.
Enemy severely damaged.
It's somewhat frequent bug. I'm not exactly sure what causes this. And look at that, there is a friendly destroyer coming to cuddle. Quite cute. But anyway, as I was saying, yes, there is a bug in the replay system that the turret alignment is not always where it should be. Yeah, unfortunately those shells didn't hit a lot. But yes, what is always correct in the replay is when the shells are fired and how much damage they do or things like that. That is as it was in the battle, but the turret alignment is something that is recalculated every time you start the replay, and so for whatever reasons bugs can occur. And I was hoping the salvo at DMG would do a lot more damage. Yeah, it's looking rather good for the friendly team, and look at that, there is a rune showing broadside, although I think he might be turning currently. And also, you haven't noticed, there is a cyclone inbound. The cyclone will reduce the visible range to 8 kilometers, so you can't see targets further away, even if they are spotted by a teammate, which will make the fight for this point quite a bit more interesting, I guess. And it seems like an enemy destroyer just got torpedoed. The enemy team is finally pushing towards B. I guess they decided to try to take it under the cover of a cyclone. But we shall see how it turns out for them. They only have a few ships here left, I think, that need reinforcements to take that. And of course they shouldn't turn their broadside to a Montana. That's not very healthy. Now let's see if that Iowa is making the same mistake. Guess not. Now the Iowa might actually try to ram the Montana here, because he is... yeah, he has way too few hit points. And I mean, he's only a tier 9 ship, so he's a bit outclassed here. And yeah. Going for a ram here would probably be the sensible choice, so Freeker has to try to avoid that. He is slowing down his ship, and we shall I think it's looking good. And there goes the Iowa. Now, there is a rune at very close range, and the rune does have torpedoes. Now, the dead Iowa in front of him is stopping torpedoes from the front. So those torpedoes probably won't do. But yeah, I mean, they sink the friendly Iowa, I guess. But he would have been safe from those torpedoes because of the dead ship in front of him. But he is pretty much stuck here. I mean, he can reverse, but he can't go forward. And the Rune has torpedo launchers on both sides, so there might be more torpedoes incoming, and there is nothing shielding his side. Yep. Not much he can do about those torpedoes. So quite a big hit, but he is still alive. There are a lot of friendly torpedoes incoming as well. And I don't think the Rune will get out of here alive. So that's a Rune dealt with, but there are still 3 enemy battleships alive. There are 3 friendly destroyers, and of course Freeker himself. There is a Bismarck incoming. I think that Bismarck has a Montana with her. And there is the Amagi in the front, and yeah, we can see a bug again where the turrets are not turned in the right direction yet. Bismarck is somewhat presenting his broadside, so he should be taken out with the next salvo, I hope. And yeah, nicely done. Now Freeker is still under fire. He is burning at 2 places, but very soon he can get rid of the fire. There is a Montana behind him and the Yamaki in front of him. And he's decided to chase down the Yamaki, which might be a good idea. And maybe get his repair up and get some health back before he returns to face the Montana. Now, while all this is happening, a friendly destroyer is sneaking up at A and is trying to capture that point. Now the friendly team is quite a bit in the lead. I mean, I could still lose here. Freeker is at very low hit points. But I definitely think the friendly team here has a major advantage for having those destroyers alive. Because they just have an easier time capping than the battleships. And it looks like the Amagi is going for C. I'm not sure if that's the right play. If he would have gone towards B, he would have teamed up with the Montana and probably taken Freeker out. In a one-on-one fight, the Amagi is at a disadvantage, especially now since that Freeker can get some of his health back. But I guess the Amagi is just trying to get more capture points, which is not necessarily a bad idea. Now the friendly team controls all zones right now, but the Montana is trying to cap. I think those destroyers will hopefully stop her. It's a bit problematic in a battleship, because if you're trying to stay inside the capture circle, there is only so much you can do to sail unpredictably. And there is the Yamaki. He is showing his broadside, which is not a very good thing to do. And he landed quite a few decent hits on Freeker here, but I don't think that will be enough. Not the way he is angling. So yeah, that worked. Now there is only the enemy Montana left, and there really isn't much he can do. He is trying to capture, but he will be harassed by torpedoes. And Once this cyclone is over, he will also be under fire from Freeker. So yeah, I would say this is almost certainly. I mean, look at how many points the friendly team has. And there is a reset, so I probably hit the Montana. And he is also currently showing broadside. But I guess the Montana is currently mostly concerned with trying to face incoming torpedo waves. And there come the torpedoes. And I guess that's probably it. There is the win. Let's take a look at the results. Freeker managed to get 3085 base experience and 5 kills. It was certainly well played by him. He in the beginning helped to take the point C and then just drove straight on to B to help defend the points, which turned out really well. And also great shout out to the friendly destroyers who did an amazing job at capturing the points and delaying the enemy. Yeah, I think it was very well played from the friendly team. Our Freeker managed to get himself Dreadnought, Kraken, Devastating Strike, High Caliber and Confederate. He did 230,000 points of damage. And yeah, I think it was a very nice battle to watch. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I'll see you guys next time.